Quality Assured Films does not condone the misuse of internet reviews. The opinions of Michael and John should be taken lightly prior to the viewing of said movie. We realize no one is perfect and only ask that logic be at least considered. Nothing more.
Quality Assured Films.
Welcome to Quality Assured Films. I'm John.
I'm Mike, and we're finally back.
That's right, Zack Snyder, you fuck.
After months of counseling.
I will say this, though, I concede, alright? I've seen the light, and, yeah, it sucked.
That took a long time for that breakthrough.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what you missed.
Yeah, tell me what I missed. Today, we have a very special, episode.
Do we?
Yes.
Oh.
We're gonna be talking...
What is it?
You didn't know?
No!
You didn't hear about it.
I just got here.
We're gonna be talking about two films. Now, these two films recently came out over the summer. Both very similar. And, yeah, let's jump right the fuck into it. Good to be back, Kirsten.
Sausage Squad.
And Suicide Party. So let's get right into it.
Very controversial films.
They're eating children! Fucking children!
So let's start. Which one should we start off with?
Let's go right into Suicide Squad. I think it's the way to go.
Roll it.
That's what everyone's watching for.
Suicide Squad was supposed to be the summer bash, like this amazing film that had all this hype.
I was really looking forward to it.
Me
big
too.
Time.
Me too.
Even after the debacle of Batman v Superman, I thought this is the one that's going to set it straight.
Right. And I mean, that's the thing. Like I was telling you the other day, I remember being a little kid. You didn't know jack shit about movies when they were coming out. You just knew, oh wow, that movie's playing. Let's go see it. Suicide Squad. Holy crap. Nowadays, like as adults, we have the behind the scenes. We get the announcement that it's being adapted. We get the pictures of the cast.
Right.
So you get excited, and then you find out all the problems are having like reshoots and all that shit.
Then you get like a teaser for the teaser.
Yep.
You get a trailer for the trailer.
Yep.
It's way too much. It's too much hype. We can't sustain it.
Nope. So by the time you're going there, you're like, But I don't know. Let's start off with some of the good about
Sure.
Suicide Squad.
I really liked the cast, for one thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was a strength of the movie. I felt like they were wasted.
Yeah.
But there was a strong... That really, pretty much all the positives come down to the acting of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, especially Will Smith and Margot Robbie, are some of the only redeeming qualities about the movie.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And it's kind of like they knew, they're like, well, listen, we have Will Smith, we have fucking Will Smith, and we got Margot Robbie too, so let's use the shit out of them. Because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Smart.
Was Deadshot, I mean, I've seen adaptations of Deadshot on Arrow, which, you know, that's barely an adaptation, but is he like a big deal to a point where he should have been centered around him, essentially?
No, not really. He's kind of a C-list villain. Back in the 80s is when like the modern this version of the Suicide Squad came about, and Deadshot was on that team.
Okay.
So that's him being on the Suicide Squad is like where he was famous from. More so than him being a Batman villain, I think. But what else did you like about it?
Oh, what did I like about it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey.
You're going somewhere very bad.
I can't think of much that I liked.
Oh, this is good. We agree on this.
Right?
Hey!
And we wanted to like it. We did. It didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Zack Snyder had anything to do with this, or?
No. This was directed by. Well, he may have produced it, but or something. But it was David Ayer was the director.
Oh yeah, who's freaking great movies.
Yeah.
I won't name them right now because I can't remember any of them. But I remember them being good.
So. You see those two things lining up, and you're like, yeah, definitely. And they had the first trailer, which leaked out of Comic-Con.
Okay.
And then they were forced to put it up online after that, DC or WB or whoever.
Right.
So then, when we get into the negatives, which is what WB did, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh.
You can see the comparison between the first trailer that was released and the tone of it and the tone of the next two trailers that came out, where they hired, because it ended up coming out that they hired the company that cut the next two trailers that are more frantic and colorful and have the catchy pop songs.
Oh, okay.
To edit the movie, to cut the movie.
Smart.
And that's the cut that we ended up seeing in the theater.
Wow, that's scary. I mean, I don't even think I can think of another good thing about it. So if we can move on to the bad.
I mean, the soundtrack was great.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean,
there's a new song every 5 minutes.
Right. Well, I was gonna say that's kind of one of my negatives, but yeah, like the songs in general were good. But let's just fucking launch right into it.
Well, I guess if we're still talking about the positive things, there were a couple of scenes that I thought were really good.
Okay. So,
I think overall the one truly great scene for me was the scene at I almost said driving range. People will be really confused. It wasn't even in the movie. It was the shooting range with Deadshot and Ike Barinholtz and
Amanda
Flag
Waller.
and Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
And that, I don't even want to describe it that much, because if you do see it, that's the one that really stood out to me. It's like, this is all working.
Yeah.
Everything here is working. And like Will Smith's charisma, Ike Barinholtz is the comedic,
Right.
the comedy relief. Rick Flag is like the straight man, basically, and then Amanda Waller like being a total hard ass. Like, that all was clicking in that scene, and that to me felt like it was lifted out of a different movie.
Yeah.
And like then after I heard all this stuff about it being edited afterwards, I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes complete sense.
Yep. And that's what was jumping out so much throughout the movie. That's why I can't. I have to go into the bad because I can't.
Okay, well then I'll say the other thing.
There's one more thing.
The other thing that I liked. Oh, just two more things.
Okay.
Batman didn't kill anybody.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
But there was a moment where he's fighting Deadshot, and he like gets him onto the ground, and Deadshot's about to get back up. And Batman's like, I don't want to do this in front of your daughter. And for a split second, I was like, what, kill him?
Yeah.
You want to kill him in front of his daughter? Let's go over there and I'll murder you away from her. So I was glad that he didn't kill anyone.
Yeah.
But then he also, like, punched Harley in the face. And, like, there was... it was kind of like, I wasn't sure if it was supposed to take place before Batman vs. Superman or after, because... I feel like, why didn't he murder them?
Right, because if
that still wasn't answered, which is what I joked about in our Batman v Superman review, but I still didn't have that question answered. But I liked that, and I really liked the scene where he's like, "You're just gonna cut and run" or whatever.
Oh, Flag says that to
says that
Will Smith.
to Will Smith, and then he gets on that scene in the trailer of him like on top of the car, and he's shooting the guns and he's killing all the things, and then he murders all of them. There's like 100 of them, and they're all dead. There's just like a pile of bullets around the car, and he jumps down and he's like, "That's how I cut and run." And I was like, "Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was
good. Will Smith.
See, Will Smith was carrying the movie.
It was. He
so
was.
many great moments.
And I like the part where they're like, he broke the phone so that none of their callers would go off anymore, and he's like, "You're free to go," and Captain Boomerang just leaves.
Oh, yeah,
he's
that's
immediately grabs everything and runs out, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, yes."
That was cool.
So I think those are my things that I liked.
So there's the big machine at the end, which we'll get into.
Oh,
the machine.
God.
There's a
It
machine.
doesn't look like any machine that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, the machine that you could build with a giant lightning bolt and car debris flying around in it.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God. Now it's time to commit suicide.
Hey!
Spoiling I mean, we've already spoiled some things, but let's continue now. But with some of the bad stuff, I want to go back real quick to what you said about that scene with Will Smith and Ike Barinholtz at the firing range.
Yeah.
Now I agree, hilarious, but like we both heard about the reshoots. We all read that the movie was put back together after they saw the success of Deadpool. Was it like they saw how like a comedy
that and
them and
to some extent Guardians.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
So they wanted to lighten it up. So I could be wrong, but it felt like every scene with Ike Barinholtz in it, I felt like that was added after the movie.
Oh,
like,
really?
Because so the movie starts off introducing each character, and he's the guy that's like bothering them and being a piece of shit guard, knocking on their door and saying, "Hey, you piece of..." And then he makes like all these threats to like someone, like, "One of these days, Jim, whatever the fuck, I'm gonna get you." And then we see him at the range, and then we see him one more time at the club, and then he's gone. Like he never fulfills that promise. He never really comes back.
That's a very good point, actually. I didn't think of that.
And he was funny. So it felt to me like they just put him on there because or they put those scenes together because it was funny. And even Flag, like Flag's character, and I believe it's because of the cutting, was not consistent. And the scene where at the firing range, he's all buddy with Will Smith. He's like, he's smiling.
Well, yeah, he's just kind of the straight man. He's standing there with his arms crossed, and he's kind of like tolerating them. Like he is tolerating them, yes. But in that scene, that's how I would have wanted him to be through the whole movie.
Right.
He's not like, in the rest of the movie, he's kind of a piece of crap.
Oh my God.
Also.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be the moral center, like the guy that out of anyone you should really like. And I guess if you're making a commentary on like, well, these are the bad guys, but you like them more than the guy that's supposed to be the good guy, he's actually a piece of shit. But that's not what I would have wanted. Like, he's not supposed to be. It should be like it's Captain America plus his villains, and they're all forced to go on a thing together. You wouldn't be like yes, maybe it might make you look at Captain America in a different way, but he's not supposed to be an actual piece of crap who's like, I'll blow your head off at any moment. What are you talking about?
Or like when Amanda Waller shoots up that room full of people, she's like, time to clean up.
And he just stands there and watches it happen.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And plus, another thing about that scene, it's always like a trade-off with this movie. It's like, I actually thought that was awesome that they were like, I was like, oh shit, she means fucking business. Yeah. But now I can't really root for her anymore because those are all innocent people.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's the thing, like, one last thing about Flag, like you said, 1 minute he's all like buddy, that literally the very next scene is that there's like a close-up of his neck and like the veins are clenching and he's like, he's talking to Amanda Waller. He's like, we can't be putting these people on the streets.
Oh,
are you crazy? Yeah. And he's all furious, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and she's like, I have this docket on you also, Flag, and I'll destroy your life too if you don't. I have her heart here, and I'll kill her. Oh, yeah. And I was like, what? But they were just friends like 5 seconds ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, reshoots, we always say this, how do people not sit in a screening room before this happens and go, yeah, no, don't do that.
Well, because it's not up to them at that point. The studio's just saying this is how it's going to be.
The first 10 minutes of the movie just felt like clips of a movie just put together.
Yeah, because it starts out with Waller, right?
No, actually, no.
No, it starts with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Then it goes to Harley.
Boxing or whatever.
Then it goes back to Waller having Then the scene after that is the boardroom meeting in the Pentagon.
Yep.
And you're like, what? Wait, what? Then it goes back to the prison.
Yeah. And
what
every time it introduced a new character, it would play like some fucking like random generic like American song like Sweet Home Alabama. Like, and then you'd see Harley Quinn. Yeah. And then it would move to the next one.
Yep.
That did not work. We should real quick get this out of the way because the Joker,
waste.
I will say, and I can't sit here and say, hey, Jared Leto sucked as the Joker because I didn't see him enough to really make a good assessment.
I feel like yes and no, because then there was that. I feel like the one scene that we did get a little bit was of him in the club with Harley, and Common was there for another completely wasted.
It's Common
performance.
That happens.
Very uncommon, and he like tries to give her away to him as like a sex slave, and then he's like, no, that's your girlfriend, and then he kills him. And I was like, even if there were reshoots, there are problems, and which is what I'm going to get to in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But that showed me, like, okay, so if you're doing this take on the Joker, that's like, he's like more of like a mob boss who's also crazy.
Right.
If you're going to be a mob boss and hold a mob together, you can't make a deal with somebody and then, like, because he shows you respect, shoot them in the face.
Right.
To your point, later on, Ike Barinholtz is, like, at that club for some reason, and I was like, is he undercover? Is he just having a night out? I don't know. It's never explained why he's even there to begin with. Then the Joker shows up, and he makes him kiss his ring.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, if he shot the other guy, why would he not shoot this guy?
Right.
There are deeper problems than just the reshoots. And that's what it goes to show me. So when they're like, we had a whole movie's worth of Joker footage, I'm like, I don't know if it really seems that good, because I didn't see that much of it, but what I did see didn't make sense either to me.
Yeah. Like that scene with him and Margot Robbie where he pushes her into the vat of chemicals.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know that's his origin story, right? Like, he falls into a vat of chemicals, gets bleached.
Yeah.
But then, what was the point of that? Like, is that in the comics? He makes her
in the new comics.
Okay.
In the old, like, she started out as a character on the animated series, or no, yeah, I think so, or in a comic or something, and then they brought her to the animated series, or the other way around, something like that. But she was on the old Bruce Timm '90s Batman cartoon.
Oh, okay.
And she became so popular that then they brought her into the comics. And then, like, a couple years ago, they rebooted the whole DC universe, and they made a new version of her, and that's the one that's closest to what we got in the movie.
Because I remember seeing, in, like, the cartoon version, was she, like, black and red checkered?
Yeah.
Like, with the little...
And she pulled that out of the briefcase and the...
Oh, see, I didn't see that.
Oh, when they dumped all their stuff off at the Air Force Base, and they, like, got all their stuff, she, like, pulled that out of the trunk.
Oh.
And she had it there.
That actually reminds me of the Air Force Base. So we met each character to a random American song. I shouldn't even say American song, but you know what I'm talking about, like the
classic rock song.
The classic rock song. Then it cuts to the desert scene where now it felt like they were introducing them again. So like after we had all the stuff with Will Smith at the
yeah.
then they're all standing in a line. Now it's like each of you, and he's like walking.
And they'll get another introduction.
I'm like, how many times are we gonna meet these fuckers?
That's a good point.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
And it also kind of bothered me a little bit how much they lingered on Harley Quinn's ass in this movie.
I mean, yeah. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, like, yes, it's there for us to have eye candy, but it's kind of fucked up. When she's, like, kind of... If she's in the movie as, like, a female empowerment character, then, like... It's kind of fucked up to just show her ass the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it was a really weird decision.
And I feel like, I know that some of the bad guys hit on her, but I feel like they would have hit on her much more. These are dudes in prison for fucking years.
That's true, yes.
Dead shot with a dead shot.
Oh,
look at that
where
ass.
are we going?
Nope.
Where are we going with this? You're ruining my point.
We've already cut to a video, and I'm not even saying this anymore. This has been removed.
Yeah, but we're talking over them.
Oh, shit.
No! Oh.
We should talk about the villain. Okay, when it comes to movies, there's always a villain. Okay? I don't know. I don't give a fuck about the origin and like, hey, in the comics, that's what happens. All I know is 1 minute there's a chick that's supposed to be helping them. The next, she's evil. And not only is she evil, but she's in the background. Like, the whole movie is happening, and I just feel like the whole end of the world going on is all in the background. Is that supposed to be the point of this? Like, I know there's the scene where they're hanging out at the bar and they're like, we're not doing our mission, fuck it, let's get drunk, let's drink. That was cool. But even before that, every now and then they would cut to her real quick and be like, oh, by the way, like, look, she's trying to destroy the world.
Except she wasn't. She was just trying to destroy machines or something.
Man-worshipped machines, so like, I'll make a machine that they'll worship.
How do you know what a machine is? Like, you know what a machine is, but you think that, it's like some kind of metaphor, except... How does the guy you're talking to have a clue what the fuck a machine is? I don't... And he's just like, okay. But then he powers her all the way up, even though she doesn't have her heart.
Right. Like, all this stuff just happened out of nowhere without any...
That's the kind of stuff that I'm saying is, like, this movie has problems other than the fact that there were reshoots.
Right.
Like, the actual writing of the movie is not good.
Because why wouldn't she have done that before? Like, why all of a sudden is she like, oh, now I can sneak away?
I guess because she needed to get powered up or something. But, like, then that's what she does with her power? She doesn't just immediately go and murder all of Amanda Waller and kill everyone that kept her hostage and just take her fucking heart back? Like,
that would make sense. We're not in the
like,
business.
how did she know that if she built this machine with the blue laser beam shooting up in the sky like every other fucking movie,
Yeah.
that Amanda Waller would just immediately stab her in the heart and kill her?
Right. Right. Come on, that's what I don't understand. I don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's why it never felt like even, oh god, there were so many stupid parts. Even with the brother, like, let's blow up the ground underneath where he's standing.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll destroy him.
Even though he's magic. We just saw him just obliterate the entire subway with a thought.
Yeah.
No, this bomb will kill him.
And then he falls, and then that's it, you don't see him again.
And
her machine was a fucking lightning bolt that just went across the world and was like, let me cross this boat.
specifically to military installations,
Yes, that's
which
what it was.
I'm going to come back to that.
Okay.
Because that was actually one thing I liked. But that her plan didn't make any sense. But going back to my point about the writing, a lot of people have said, and so I'm trying to put a different spin on it, is that a lot of people say, oh, well, why didn't you just, like, the core concept of them going to save the world is kind of against the idea of the Suicide Squad, because you don't need a Suicide Squad to go save the world. Like, you don't need to... The whole point of the Suicide Squad is that the U.S. government can deny any responsibility and blame anything that goes wrong on the bad guys and or murder them because they're already supervillains.
Right.
They've already done heinous, horrible things and are either going to be executed or spend the rest of their lives in prison anyway. You don't need to deny a responsibility from saving the world from an evil ancient witch out to destroy everyone. That's when you do call the Justice League in and you call all the superheroes and go send them to kill her.
Right. It's the end of the world we're talking about.
Right. The one point that they did correctly was when they're in the boardroom and she goes, go fetch the thing, and she brings back, like, top secret government documents from another country.
Oh,
and they're like, the general is like, we've been trying to get these forever. That's the point of the Suicide Squad, is to go do shady, terrible things that even the government's terrible, shady operatives would want no part of, because we don't want to risk a citizen, American's life to do this, but it will serve the national interest.
Yeah.
Like, go gather intelligence on another country. Go support some crazy military operation and assassinate somebody or something like that. That's what the Suicide Squad is there for. Not to close the portal in the Avengers Tower in the middle of the city. That's when you call the Avengers, not...
Right, or who would they call in this case, because it's DC?
The Justice League.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I guess Superman's dead, so they can't call Superman, but, like, Amanda Waller has Batman's number because he comes in at the end of the movie to get the files, even though he already had the files from Batman v Superman, which doesn't make any sense. But that's who you call him up, and you go, hey, get your friend Wonder Woman, who killed a pretty equally powered rampaging monster, and save that city. Why not just have better... Why not just... I mean, I don't really... If you're sending in the Suicide Squad, why are you also sending in a whole nother battalion of soldiers? I thought the whole point was to not risk any more soldiers.
Right.
And their mission actually isn't to stop the witch. It's to save Amanda Waller from her dumbass operation that she fucked up in the first place, which they showed us twice. And not only that, but I'm losing it. I'm losing it.
Here, I'll do the...
Oh, do the dance? Oh, another thing I liked was, the first mission that she fucked up when they took the bomb to go kill the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you not send in the Suicide Squad then? She was sending in the Enchantress.
Yep. Yeah. Alone. Or with what's it,
Flag? That's what I'm saying. I highly doubt that plot was part of a reshoot.
Right, like that was just a problem.
That was a problem that this movie had to begin with. So yes, these other things compounded on top of that, but like at the core of the plot, it's wrong. Right. Like they didn't even understand the concept of what they're making to begin with.
Yeah, and shame on them, by the way, because those little like creatures that are like they look like putties. Remember?
I love them.
They look like the Power Rangers.
Oh, you're talking about
that Deadshot shoots up?
Yes, okay. I thought you meant they're the little guys when she's wiggling around. And there were these little creature guys that were hopping around behind her with little glowy eyes.
Oh,
and they had a sheet over them.
That's right.
I thought that was really creepy and cool. I liked that a lot. And they never explained them. And then when she like died, they all just like kind of faded away. And I was like, they're kind of hinting at like some kind of like Lovecraftian horror kind of shit going on. Okay. I was like, that's really cool. Nope, don't go into that at all. Okay.
God damn this movie, man.
Something I liked, going back to the blue laser beam, though, even though I hate the blue laser beam, I did like that kind of subtly they set up a world in which we need the Justice League. Because she destroyed she pretty much destroyed our military.
Oh, yeah.
With the blue laser beam.
That's true.
So now, like, we don't even have that if some crazy world-ending threat comes. Mm-hmm. So they kind of sneakily set up a world in which after people were so... And maybe I'm giving them way too much credit here, which is 100% possible.
Right.
But my interpretation, or this is how I would write it, is that after people were so skeptical of superheroes in the last two movies... that now they set up a world in which we don't have the military or a very reduced military. If some world-ending threat shows up, we're almost forced to accept superheroes to fight for us.
Yeah.
So I thought that
makes sense.
That may have been completely unintentional,
right?
But
then I'd be like, "Oh shit, yo, did you hear what you just said?"
Yeah. And then cut it up and then chop it on the floor and then we'll cut it together later.
And add Ike Barinholtz, which I love you, buddy.
No, I meant.
I wonder though too, like, there's gonna be some sort of like director's cut, kind of like the Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition came out, where they're like, "Look, but this is what really happened. That makes sense." Like they'll probably do that with
you think
Suicide
so?
Squad.
We'll see the original cut.
Maybe not the original, but some more shit from the original to make more sense. I don't know. I was looking forward to it. I really was.
Yeah.
I really was. So any final thoughts on?
It was a complete disaster.
I hate to say it, but yeah, it really was. I found myself going, what am I watching right now? And I wanted to like it. So you know what, Suicide Squad?
Quality
denied.
You're denied, motherfucker.
Denied.
We'll be back with some sausage party.
Where are we going?
Oh, we're going to a clip of the breakout comedy of the summer.
What's that?
Sausage party. Woo!
Quality assured film.
Well, there you have it, Suicide Squad. Wow.
What a piece of junk.
Fuck that movie. Oh, well, I'm John.
He's so upset about the fact that you're John.
I know, I can't change that.
I'm Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be ashamed. And we are
Quality assured films.
Quality Assured Films does not prove. Wait, what is it? Quality Assured Films does not condone the misuse of internet reviews.